Here's my voice.
Oh,
It's better. It's
sound.
better sound.
Okay, celebration dance.
So I hope that all the others watching also hear
Yeah, they do.
us
They will
well
surely.
now.
Well, hope so. If not, they can go put the headphones on like me. Hey, love.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. Wonderful.
It's
Thank you
good
for
to
dropping
see
on.
you.
Yes, it's good to see
Yeah.
you. Do you know what I bought for you? Specifically for you? Because we were doing our live today.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah.
Bought some bubbles, baby. I thought it was a celebration.
Oh.
This is funny because for everybody watching, me and Katharina have been friends for many, many years, and we always say we're going to record a talk together or a podcast together, and it hasn't happened. But this year seems to be the time. But today, I'm going to drop in with you right now for those on the live and also on the replay. We're keeping these little calls just to a little nugget. And today is really about bringing Katharina on because not only is she a magical divine being and a great friend of mine, but we didn't meet specifically through Naked, but she's been on the Naked retreats and many other experiences with me. And I wanted to, yeah, well, she wanted to invite herself on actually and share some magic.
Oh, yes.
So
I'm so grateful that you're rebirthing this experience that Naked is. And we recently had a call and it was just so absolutely magical to re-dive into the experience and reflect on it and really feel the potency that it had and how it changed my life for the better, honestly. Like the magical way you found your way into my life, and then it was just the perfect moment where I was looking for, you know, a way to come alive again, you know? Like I was in a space in my life where I just felt like there's gotta be more. There's gotta be more sensation, more feeling of truth, more aliveness in my body. I was like, I was not in a good space. And I was in therapy and I was trying like all different kinds of approaches of healing, right? But I never really dove into something that brought in elements of embodiment, elements of just play and joy and laughter, and just like stuff that would help me to like break out of all the limitations that I would put on myself and just become more free in my expression. And I can talk about this forever. So basically, like radical intimacy was the first step that when we met in Graz 2018,
mm,
and then I was like,
mm.
wait, what? There's an experience that is 10 days long or 7 days long where I can deepen this. Hell yes. So then I joined, of course, Naked, and that the rest is like history. And now here we are after so many
The
years.
rest is her
Her
story.
story. That's true.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for showing up and also I love that you bring in the word aliveness, no?
Mm.
This seems to be really at the core, and I hear this a lot in some of the talks that I listen to and so on. It's like we're here alive, but how alive are we, right?
Mhm.
You know, the idea of celebrating our life, the idea of waking up and being grateful to be
Mm.
alive another day. My friend just did a 1 minute video called, you know, his greatest tip for the morning is to start by filling yourself up with a great bowl of gratitude, because you know,
Mm.
if you've got a mobile phone, if you've got a roof over your head, if you know, if you've woken up and you've got your health and so on, I mean, you are already fully abundant, you know. And I think that when we drop into that level of awareness and that level of appreciation for life and appreciation for ourselves, we love ourselves that much, then
Mm.
aliveness is the byproduct.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything to that in relation to what you shared, but that's I love that you brought in that, you know, that you were, because that's what depression is, right? You were having
Yeah.
therapy, you were feeling depressed, you were feeling dense, you were feeling maybe a little bit lost, a little bit whatever, and you started to look, right? The soul starts to look for
Mhm.
places, no, it's therapy or whatever, but often it's like it's grinding. It can be really challenging. So
Yeah.
so I honor your courage, because I've always said this to you, but your lion-hearted courage, because you haven't just stopped at the first fence and thought, no, you've gone again and again and again, and then you're reaping the rewards of really unveiling over and over again.
Yes, yes, because my soul was thirsty. Like I was hungry. I was I was thirsty for feeling this aliveness that you're speaking about, because like I knew that there was so much in me that was suppressed, you know, through conditioning, through never being initiated into what it means to be a woman. That definitely, and just like a human being that knows how to express her life force, basically, because we're told so many stories of like, oh, it's not okay to express this, it's not okay to express that, and then you like push it down further and further and further, and you become sick, or you become like you have like suppressed anger or suppressed grief, or and all of that is suppressed life force, basically. And when I met you and Dara back then, and when we started to dive into the naked experience together, I just noticed that through really releasing everything that I had pushed down, no matter what it was, you know, like my fire, my water, my grief, also laughter, going through this cathartic experience of like taking the lid off of this pot and like really having this volcano erupt was actually the thing that I needed for feeling my channels wide open for the very first time, because I took out this element that kind of like it was like maybe in the throat or maybe in the belly you have this feeling of like, oh, there's a crust there, or there's like a rock there that is blocking that flow of expression that wants to come out of you, and you need to like find ways to release those blockages. And what we did on Naked with the emotional alchemy, with like the movement practices, the breath work, like all of these like breath, movement, sound, I'd never encountered anything like that before. And then we stepped into it, and there I was all of a sudden, and I could cry right now, because like I didn't really feel the essence of my being before that. And what that is, it was all covered underneath like layers and layers and layers of just masks, or pretending, or playing roles, or just behaving in a way that I thought was me, but it wasn't. And that was profound to me back then. Is medicine. It's medicine, the spaces that we create together when we come together. And
Yeah, just bringing up the emotion, because I also like, I know, you know, it's so funny sometimes we're like doing this work, and we have to come online, and we have to just share it, and it kind of, there's this marketing talk, and we have to try to somehow sell this fucking freedom, right? In a system that is designed to confine us in our deep condition and our unconsciousness. And you know, I just fucking get so that impassioned and transmute that anger that I feel, that we even have to like try to somehow market this or make it a fucking product, you know what I mean? Because it's not. It's like, can we come together as divine souls and help each other wake the fuck up? Because it is not true that we should walk around in this place depressed, anxious, feeling that we're unworthy, feeling that we're pieces of fucking shit, following an imprisoned system that tells us to go to work and earn money and come home and don't, whatever you do, say that you love being fucked open to God, you know, whatever you do, don't say that you love to be alive, because alive people do not feed a fucked system, you know? And it's like, my God, can we wake up? And can we just like smell the coffee? It's just insane. My friend over there getting powered up, you know?
Yeah, Yeah, but that's exactly, you know what, that's why that's what drives me. That, like, after the naked experience, I felt so empowered to, like, start hosting or facilitating or just hold space for group experience like that when it comes to anger. That beautiful sacred expression of rage and anger, that when we find ways to express that in a healthy or in a safe way together as a group, that is the fire, that is the passion, that is the drive
Mm.
that moves us. That is like pure life force. And uh, yes,
Yeah. Yeah, but
yes.
yeah, yes, and I love, if anyone's listening, if you're listening out there right now and you want to drop a comment, please drop a comment and ask a question if you have, if you're considering either coming on this one of these next 3 naked retreats. But what's so phenomenal is what Katharina's bringing here is this thing of, and me, and you're feeling my passion, you're feeling my wrath, you're feeling my rage transmuted. And I sometimes swear when I let that come out, because it's a spontaneous flow. I'm not advocating we all just swear, and I'm not projecting any of this rage or violence on anyone, not on the system, not on anything. I'm not blaming. I'm not here to blame. I'm just here to bring awareness to how it is, how it can be, how many of our brothers and sisters are. And when we come together in this naked way and hold each other and feel each other, then we get to realize that, our natural state of being, which is joy, aliveness,
Mm,
exuberance,
mm,
compassion, empathy, loving, the
mm,
being able to hold ourselves, understanding our nervous system, trusting our
mm,
intuition, knowing when we can say no and yes, being able to
mm,
sit and feel very clear in our own sovereignty of whether we want to do something or not do something, self-empowerment.
mm,
These are our natural default qualities that have
mm,
been, for whatever reason, condemned, plastered on, abused, violated, stories of shame, guilt, blame, unworthiness, I am not enoughness, all of it. And what we're doing, and this is not just us, but the collective, there's a wave in the collective that is saying, hey, that is not the whole truth,
mhm.
you know? So,
Yeah. It's like we come together to learn how to be alive,
mm,
or to learn life, like really life. It sounds so crazy, but it's like you have to unlearn what you learned. And
yeah,
I'm starting to purge right away.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and actually to speak to that, because what did you say? When did you come to? What year was it? 2016 when you came to Graz.
No, it was 2018 when I came to
2018,
Graz, and the
right?
same year I went to, or 2019, I think, was the
2019, I
first
think you
naked
came to the
experience.
first naked. Yeah. So just for those listening, yeah, we met in around 2018 as well, right? Or early. That's when we met with King Philip and so on. So yeah, so we're looking at 18, 19, 20, right? Right now we're 23. So the last 5 years, what I want to say here as well, because sometimes it's like, okay, we go to a naked retreat, or we go to an ISTA, because ISTA's another movement doing this work, and there's many others out there that are holding these spaces, or we do an ayahuasca ceremony, or we do some seed of deeper self-inquiry. Maybe we've already been doing some meditation, some yoga, maybe we're doing some internal writing practices, breath work, whatever. But then we come into a deeper immersive experience like naked for 10 days. And I'm not here to say, after that, yeah, it's all good, you're all done, right? No way, because I know beings that have come to naked, they've had full on liberation, They've gone straight back into their old lifestyle. Within 1 month to 2 months, they're already back on the alcohol, doing certain things, and then they're still living that way. And I've had messages from them 2.5 years later saying, I just, I went straight back into this, and I didn't follow the any tools and practices. I didn't find a new circle of beings. I didn't transform the life the way I knew I could. And they admit that. So what this is really for me is the seed, planting seeds, giving certain tools, showing that there's other like-hearted souls, that we have a community, that we are able to hold each other, right? Because me and Katharina has been processing. She's been with me in different things. We've lived together for a while now. No, we use the tools. We have sharings. We get triggered. Stuff comes up. We process it. We go through it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't maybe speak to that in the kind of closing, or if there's anything else you want to add. But it's not just like 10 days and then we're all like walking, everything's resolved.
No, it's like naked is the initiation. Like the retreat itself, the retreat experience, as you were saying, it's the toolbox. It's a little taste that you get of how deeply connected you can be with yourself and with others, how intimate you can be with yourself and with others. You get a taste, but of course, then you come back into the life that you've built for yourself, and then you all of a sudden can't relate much with what you've built anymore. And that brings in like crises, that brings up like a lot of emotion, a lot of like maybe feeling lost and confused. And like, I now know that there is a deeper experience that I can have in life. How do I transform my outer to match the inner, right? So I definitely had that. And I was just so grateful that there was this community. There is this community of like all over the world throughout this experience. Like we call ourselves naked ears, or just like that family that emerged out of this experience, what we went through together. There is a deep, intimate connection that we form, a bond that we form because we trust each other. We saw each other losing our shit in like the most cathartic experiences, that like you can't be more vulnerable and more intimate with each other than that. So that bond is still alive when you come outside of this container. And I found it so beautiful that through, group chats or people who are living in the same city, like in Vienna, there's been like a beautiful community forming in Vienna, where I'm from, and also in other cities and all around the world, basically, where we meet up in group calls or just basically supporting each other, staying connected to that field and staying connected to that truth, and sometimes also being very firm with each other and calling each other out on our bullshit. That's also what we need. But that is something that was crucial to my healing, to my like remembering. We forget every day, we forget. And if we remind each other and remember, look, I know exactly, like I see you, right? And like the community, it's the community. This is why naked is not just any like not just like a one-time experience retreat. It's carried, like I felt held and carried after the retreat just as much as within the retreat. And that's the medicine right there, because you gotta integrate. That's where the work actually starts. You gotta integrate. And we
Beautiful.
all, that's.
Please, I was just saying, just a moment ago as you were speaking, I was coming up with this, the word integration, because, so often it's about, whatever we do, whatever the process is, it can be anything. It's like stuff comes to the surface, and then are we able to feel that we have a space to integrate that, and that we're going to be able to be held in the process of what we're going to move through? And are there other beings that I can relate with through this unveiling and through this? And actually, I love what you said, is Ramdas speaks about this so so many times. Now it's a constant journey of forgetting, remembering, forgetting, remembering, forgetting, remembering, and being okay in that space. It's like that is part of the, you know, the unveiling, the awakening process as well. Not like, oh, I forgot and now I'm a bad person, and then I noticed that all my unworthiness and all the, you know, blame, shame and guilt wants to come in and plaster itself on me and I'm a bad person. It's like, no, that's interesting that just happened. I'm not going to believe that anymore. I remember, you know, and this goes on because the subconscious programming also requires consistency, repetition, and us constantly showing up in order to get any newly installed program, right? No program or no habit or behavior is ever changed just by, you know, changing it once or twice, right? It's just
Exactly.
It's common sense, but I still notice the people that I work with struggle with that, right? It's like there's an impatience to that, and if we can learn to be a little bit more patient with ourselves, a little bit more empathic with ourselves, we can actually navigate through these transitions in a far more joyous way, which is also what I'm all about, as you know. Can we do it in a joyous way? You know, it doesn't all have to be, you know, stress and grief and we're in process all the time. It's drama and it's painful, and it's like it can be a conscious choice, you know.
Yeah.
So listen, time-wise, I think we got to wrap it up soon. Is there any last words that you'd love to say?
Any last words?
We can come on again another time, but let's have some bubbles for sure.
Any last words? Just that if you're considering out there that this experience might be for you, like, dare to be courageous. It takes courage, like, I'm not gonna lie. It takes courage to dive into yourself like that. But the rewards, the treasures, the aliveness, the remembering that comes from that, the deep relationships that you have with other people there, like, that are going to be part of your life for a very long time, if not throughout your life, it's worth it. And it's an investment in yourself, and it basically, like, it's an experience that helps you to love yourself better. And I definitely really, really learned how to love myself through that. Yeah.
Beautiful beings. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katharina, for coming on all the way from Canada today, getting up in the morning and jumping on with us. Thank you so much. And Katharina is involved also in the behind the scenes and helping us out. She's actually writing she's a phenomenal, she's many things, and we don't need to go into that now. You can check her out over on her pages. But apart from being a phenomenal astrological I would say intuitive, right? That's one thing that she does, but she's also an amazing writer, and she's actually writing let's say the deeper essence of the story of what Naked is and what it's about and what it's fueling and why we're devoted and showing up in this way again. And so we want to really take this more around the world and start to have like co-facilitators that are facilitating in different countries as well, so we can really expand this, because you know, there's a lot of magic to be shared.
Oh yes.
So
it's a revolutionary.
Yeah.
Revolutionary,
exactly. My favorite play on words. So if you've been listening, you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. If you're watching this on a replay, you can just go to nakedtheretreat.com if you're feeling called. We're going to be showing up in Portugal in August, Sicily in September, and South Africa in November. And we're calling out to all those courageous beings. Maybe you've been with me before, but if you haven't and you're feeling like the dive, the process is simple. You just go onto the website. First of all, fill out 4 questions, answer 4 questions in the application form. Come on a call with me, or maybe Simon or Kate in South Africa. And then from there, you can ask questions. And if you feel the call and it's a yes, then we start the procedure. and then boom, boom, boom. It's just like nice and simple. So even in the application form, this the beauty of it. You don't even have to feel, oh no, I've committed to something, I don't know what it is. You can come and drop in. And that's a very unique part of Naked, because I'm not interested in random people just coming for the sake of it. I'm interested in, is this really for you?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Love. We speak soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
Love you. You too.
Love you too. Ciao.